North Korean leader Kim Jong Un has stated that the Pyongyang is willing to get along with the United States, but only if Washington officially recognizes North Korea's nuclear status. Speaking after the country concluded its 9th Party Congress, Kim emphasized that if the US respects North Korea's current nuclear status and ends its hostile policies, there is no reason for tensions to persist. This statement, broadcast by state media KCNA, came as North Korea held a military parade to commemorate the Congress. Kim also reaffirmed that North Korea has irreversibly established itself as a nuclear power. The conclusion of the 9th Congress, marked by Kim's remarks, represents a pivotal moment in North Korea's political and military development. These developments come amid growing global concerns over North Korea's nuclear ambitions and its ongoing defiance of international sanctions. Regardless, North Korea remains firm in its stance, signaling that its nuclear capabilities are non-negotiable. Meanwhile, international discussions continue, but tensions between North Korea and the West show no
regime, then the picture becomes very clear that they are trying to engage more and more countries into it, and they want to engage US by through some kind of negotiation tactics, by keeping this denuclearization agenda into downplaying thing, off the table. And this kind of statements are in alignment of this objective.
And how should neighbouring powers such as China, Japan and Russia interpret Kim Jong Un's calls for recognition and its current display of military might at the Party Congress parade? And what roles might they play in shaping or responding to these shifts?
See, this show of strength has not been new. It has been in the practice since many years. We should say many decades, like 5-6 decades. They had been doing this. It is nothing new. But if you see the perspective of other neighboring countries, as you mentioned, Russia. For Russia, it is a very positive approach, because for Russia, it is good to see North Korea flexing their muscles because they are in alignment. They are under agreement also. They have defense agreement. They are doing the things in cooperation, especially when it comes to security and defense. They had been fighting the war together. So for Russia, it is very much a positive approach, and they would always be seeing in future also to flex the muscle even together with North Korea. And from Chinese perspective, for them, it is a kind of a neutral approach. They would not be commenting on this, and rather than that, they would be just observing it, because China doesn't want to get into any confrontation when it comes to security dynamics, and they want to have North Korea on their side, if not actively, at least passively. And it is not new that they fought the war together in Korea in 1953. So they have those all legacies. So China and Russia, they are not going to see this kind of muscle flexing in any negative form. But yes, for South Korea, it's a concern. And Japan also, it's a concern. And US, ROK, and Japan trilateral alliance is observing all these things. And definitely, it is not going to affect with that intensity. And this messaging also shows that tone. I mean, they want to engage with the Trump. They want proper attention when Trump will be in China.
And beyond the domestic political controversy, what message does this episode send internationally about how the US handles transparency given the backdrop of the recent North Korea and interactions beyond all the political controversy, including possible high-level talks in the region. What benchmarks should international observers look for to gauge whether North Korea's rhetorical opening towards the US translates into concrete diplomatic progress? What message are they looking for here?
See, on the diplomatic front, there had been some demands from the North side for talks, and that was not to talk on denuclearization and exemption of these sanctions. These two issues were also always on the table. But from the US and ROK side, they had been always telling North Korea to denuclearize themselves, at least, if not complete, at least step by step. That has been the approach of the US-ROK alliance towards North Korea. And then, based on that, sanctions could be not lifted, but sanctions also could be a step-by-step lifted. But that kind of gesture was not shown from the North. They had been very aggressive, and they had been even criticizing openly the US ROK exercises, and even those military exercises had been always creating tensions between the two sides. But if you see the messaging now, the messaging looks softer and it looks little engaging. But as an expert, we should not trust North Korea, because it is always based on the optics, and it is always based on some hidden agenda that they try to, that they leverage always. So that is why from US and ROK side, there needs to be a very close analysis and observation. And based on that only, I'm sure that Trump's advisors would be deciding anything, whether to have a Trump-Kim summit or whether to see North Korea as any sort of matter in this visit. So they will be also analyzing it very in a very calibrated manner. So a calibrated approach is needed right now.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, for joining us here today on NewsX World. Thank you. The International Monetary Fund has urged the United States to collaborate